Late night Grin. Also, what does that name mean?
Yes, indeed, folks. We're back another Friday. The flagship rides again. Once again, we shift our attention to the World Wrestling Federation, the Fed 4 back in action, and a mystery fifth man who we will meet very, very soon. You may recognize him, I'm not sure. But first, I hope everyone is well. Glorious Friday evening. SmackDown in the books. SmackDown actually happened about 8 hours ago. I think it just aired in the States, right, as usual. So we have much to get into. We'll be previewing the King and Queen of the Ring event, which is not far away now. We're 15 hours, 14 hours, right? We're very, very close. And much to get into. Not really much to get into, but I like to say that anyway to be polite. We have an expert panel, though. That's one thing I am confident of. Bobby Two Shoes leading the way in that regard. How are you, mate?
Doing well. It's nice to be back. I'm back over here in my actual studio and not having to deal with all kinds of noises and various other issues. So it's good. It's good stuff.
Yeah. Just using the word studio popped me. I don't know. You didn't say it as a joke, but it popped me very much. And I think it popped Chris and Oracle.
Did you get all your laundry done? All your laundry done, Bob?
I did. We're good. I didn't realize my mic isn't plugged in though, so I'm using the computer mic right now.
I did realize that.
Yes. Let me fix that.
Yeah, that's right. It's only a podcast, nothing to worry about. Oracle, the stuff we put up with this guy, you know, just he starts he victory laps about his studio, and then he tells us he hasn't got a mic plugged in. The real kicker is going to be when he comes back and his audio is worse with the mic plugged in than it was before. We'll get to that. He'll come up here in a second. But nonetheless, Oracle, how are you this evening?
Okay. I'm just I am very happy with what we got.
Yeah, we won.
Of course, it's another 5-match card, whatever. The last one worked out really well. So, and I think it's a pretty decent lineup, all things considered. This definitely feels a little bit more B-show-ish in terms of the stuff that's outside of the King of the Ring. But the King and Queen of the Ring tournaments have been I think they're the best thing Triple H has booked in terms of
it's been really cool. For sure.
I think the in-ring quality has picked up significantly because of it, where WWE's kind of been down in that regard. You know, not like major or anything, but the last couple of years, it's not really been, they haven't been really high in ring or whatever. But the last 3 weeks have been awesome. And, we've had some really good stuff. And yeah, man, I'm just, it's one of those dream matches we've been kind of joking about the last couple of years, but we're going to get it. We got Randall and Gunny,
I can't wait, dude. Especially hearing the people tonight for Randy and how over he was. I think this could be special, especially Randy didn't fall down much tonight, so I think he's definitely saving it for this Gunther match. I think it could be very, very special. I'm hopeful. We'll talk about that, of course, probably at close of the night. In fact, Chris, how are you this evening?
It's been a week, so I'm better now that we're here and I'm with you fine gentlemen and getting ready to talk about some professional wrestling. So
there you go, man. Absolutely. It's always good to escape with professional wrestling conversational content. And one of my favorite gentlemen to escape with in that regard. He takes you all sorts of galaxies and lands far away. And he, of course, is our mystery fifth man tonight. He has many names around here. I will not mention all of them. But I know one of them for sure, is LNG, founding father. The big man is back. Jack Crosby, it has been so long.
Hi,
How
guys.
are you?
Hi, guys.
You look great.
Thank you. Thank you. A week from now, I'm going to be 40.
Dude, you don't look a day over 39, bro, for real.
Appreciate it.
You actually do look doesn't he look healthy, Jack Crosby?
does.
You can tell he hasn't been doing many shows.
I mean, I got better. I'm the worst looking 31 maybe in American history. So, you know.
I spend, my secret is I spend a lot of time on the golf course.
Yep.
Get
What you do?
fresh air.
Listen to you. What a legend you've become. Like Larry Zabisco in 95.
I drink a lot of cheap beer.
Yeah.
No, I'm glad to be back. I feel, I text Joe about, I don't know, hour and a half, 2 hours ago.
Mm.
I said I was going to exercise my contractual right to appear on any late night Grin that I choose.
Yeah.
We took the daughter swimming, came home, she fell asleep. So I text Joe and I said, all right, you know what? Let's talk some wrestling.
Tonight's the night, brother. I like it. Jack looks like the machine gun Carl Anderson in an NXT backstage vignette. I like it. I like it a lot. All right, folks. Clearly, we have some matches to get into tonight, but there's not really any great rush. Let's be honest with each other. We're all friends here. We've got some time to kill. We've got to enjoy ourselves, right? This is the late night Grin. We hope everyone is well. Please do like the video if you're enjoying it thus far. I mean, you should really. I think we've had a good time so far. It's been 7 really red hot minutes. Bob plugged his mic in. Bob, how's the new mic sounding?
Good, I think. How we coming?
You sounded great, but your connection just immediately halted you. Go again, boy. Come on.
Fair enough. We good? How we doing?
You sound wonderful. You really do sound well. That's good. All right. And as Cody has exercised here, Super Chat's in the ball game here for the late night Grin these days. And Cody says, and I quote, currency question for Joseph. What is the difference between pound and quid? I'm American curious.
Hey, me too, actually.
Quid is just slang. So if you give me a pound, I could just easily say you've given me a quid. It's just slang for it. It's like $1 and $1. It's the same thing. It's just slang. That's all.
That's a great question because I always wondered that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what. This is the kind of knowledge you can get with a super chat around here. So Cody's, he said, I need to take this to Holbert and really figure these things out.
Thank
so
you,
I appreciate
Cody.
it.
Thank
yes.
you.
And he says, King and Queen of the Ring should be a who or how. Indeed, it should be. I like letting Jack kind of run wild when he's in attendance for these shows. Jack, you were very colourful about this 2-night SummerSlam business a couple of days ago. I got an all caps text from you. You were very worked up. Have you calmed down yet?
I'm like that meme. There's no reason for this. I'm thinking if this is a make good for Minneapolis, because it really seemed like they got screwed out of WrestleMania.
It for sure is. Yeah.
Part of me thinks that SummerSlam being 2 nights might not be the norm. It might just be for Minneapolis to be like, we're really sorry about how this happened, because I don't think people realize how close that got. Like the city council voted to accept WrestleMania. And they did, like everything was clearly in motion. And then at the last minute got ripped out because Nick Khan was like, I don't want to go to cold weather cities anymore. So Vegas it is.
Pretty tough.
So they were like, all right, well, what if we give you SummerSlam, but 2 nights? But I don't think you could do SummerSlam 2 nights like every single year.
The thing is, and this is like, I think kind of that is over 2 years ago. Who knows what it's going to look like then?
Yeah. I think Mania can sustain the 2-night thing because it's Mania. I think that's.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I agree with the criticisms of like, can SummerSlam or Survivor Series and the Rumble I could see having
Rumble can do it.
The 2 Rumble matches.
Rumble can definitely do it.
Yeah, I brought that. I don't remember
why SummerSlam.
Chris, you brought up the 2-night Rumble thing. Definitely. Yeah, I remember talking about it. Yeah, that makes sense because frankly, the two Rumbles on one night is a pretty tough deal at the moment. SummerSlam is, I don't know, it's a strange one, but I'm assuming they're getting paid a ridiculous amount of money. What the main
Like,
event
what
like by then, I don't know.
what have you seen? Like WrestleMania going 2 nights obviously makes sense. The Rumble, because of the matches, men's and women's, obviously makes sense. What have you guys realistically seen from SummerSlam in the last 5 to 10 years that makes you believe it warrants a 2-night show?
Yeah.
I mean,
What?
nothing really. No, I
Nothing.
mean,
No, I don't
Yeah.
really think so either.
Well, they did do that Eva Marie Alexa Bliss match that one year. They could have got some more time if we had 2 nights to delegate,
True.
you know.
Like they booked last year so bad. Like I didn't even bother to go. It was right here in Detroit. And I didn't even bother to go.
Oh, that show sucked.
That
I
was
didn't
bad.
like
Oh, drag.
that show was a
That
miserable
was
show.
that was
What
Roman
show
and
do you
Jay.
watch in WWE?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
Roman and
Roman
Jay.
Jay.
It was the last Brock Cody match.
Yes, that was the best thing on the show, right?
That was like the
Seth and Finn,
Yeah.
Ricochet, Logan Paul.
Ugh.
Yeah,
Also, Drew and Gunther had a good match, but it felt like it was so much less than they should have had with how good those 2 guys are. You know, it was also more than all the matches. It was that vibe that show had. It didn't have a great atmosphere at all. It was a weird. The Rumble was similar, right? It's like stadium crowds can be weird.
The real question, serious question. And,
Yes,
and
I like
brought it
serious
up in our chat, but is this Bean Mania is going to be in London in 2026?
I think London or Saudi.
Yeah.
And listen, I think the Saudi thing is realistic.
Oh yeah, that's definitely in play.
No, I
Yeah.
only say that
Oh,
because
yeah.
I've seen a lot of people say that WWE would never give Saudi a
I
WrestleMania.
don't buy that.
Listen,
I don't buy that.
No.
they just staged the boxing match for the undisputed heavyweight championship for the first time in 28 years,
Yeah.
whatever it was. If they want WrestleMania, like
They're gonna,
they're gonna
And-
look at Nick Khan and say, "Here's $200 million. Give us WrestleMania." They're gonna say,
Yeah.
"Well, like, what do you think? Do you think they're gonna look at like people like us and go, well, it's gonna inconvenience them?"
Exactly. I don't give a shit.
Like,
I mean, they've been pretty, like, Nick Khan's been pretty transparent about the way he approached, like, that famous quote where he said Raw would be 10 hours long or whatever if it could be. Like, it's pure money, and, like, that's the reality.
I think that does signal though that it's either London or I wouldn't rule out London because like that's been in the works for a long time, but I wouldn't Saudi or London.
Yeah.
I wonder if
I'm
they'll
thinking
do
it's international either way.
Yeah. I wonder how that looks. I wonder if they do Wembley or they do a different stadium. I'm intrigued by what that looks like.
Yeah,
But,
probably. It'd have to be Wembley, right? I mean, you would
Jay,
know better than I, but
I know this guy comes across like a bit coming from me, but the new Tottenham Stadium is like kind of perfect for us.
yeah,
Right.
Well,
the way that would look.
Fury and
Fury White was at Wembley.
yeah, Fury White was in,
and Fury Chisora was at Tottenham.
Yeah,
that's All right. Anyway, Jack and I doing UK geography here in the late night.
This is what you get with me.
Just counting off Tyson Fury fights back at talking about locations and such. These are the games we play. All right. Now, I want to get a temperature check on where everyone's at in their excitement. Last week, we attempted to do this regarding All Elite Wrestling, and I think it's fair to say things got a little bit out of control last week. Oracle, I started yelling at people last week. I think. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of hesitant to ask what everyone's thinking right now. I mean, I'm not going to use the words cold or hot. I'm going to avoid those. They are banned. Yes, Jack.
I'm just going to, I think you'll be fine because there's someone missing. I think he's the instigator. I think I'm just saying.
I do agree.
I think he's a fucking instigator.
He's been the problem all along between us.
He is. Like he's
contrarian Alex is a major problem.
Did you see him tonight jumping on the bandwagon? Because Kairi Sane tweeted she wanted to be in the King of the Ring, and he tweeted Paul is a fraud. All right, before we do that, let's show some love to our friend Brainbuster who sent the super chat and says, showing appreciation for my unproblematic faves. There you go. Thank you, Brainbuster. Yeah, give it a couple more hours. But we appreciate you very much, folks. Please, we hope you're enjoying the show. So it's a good time so far. We haven't talked about anything, but we're having fun. All right. Well, where are you at right now, the WWF, mate? Where's the excitement at going into the kick? Because I don't want to overly I'm basically asking you how pumped you are for the show, but it's beyond that, right? It's more of a promotional temperature check. Bobby, go for it.
Yeah, I mean, I've watched a lot less since WrestleMania has been, in the rearview mirror. I've been watching the NBA playoffs and stuff, but I usually watch Raw the day after while I'm working. There's 2 or 3 good matches per Raw now, and SmackDown I watch it tonight. I'll usually watch that the next day too, but I haven't really been watching live. But overall, I mean, they're still doing well. It just WrestleMania sometimes feels like such a high that you do need a little break after a while, but that's not necessarily, reflective on the product. I thought Backlash was great. I think tomorrow's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, I mean, I think I'm a little personally low, but that again doesn't mean that the product has gotten worse.
It's just you're personally kind of exhaling, sort of, yeah. All right. I'm intrigued, Chris. Where do you stand in this regard?
I'm still pretty high on their things overall. I watch Raw live most of the time. SmackDown's a little iffier. I was a little up until Triple H made the announcement that the winners of the tournaments get title shots at SummerSlam. I was a little more lukewarm on this pay-per-view cycle. But I'm a little more excited now that announcement has been made. Because that means it means more than just this stupid, king and queen gimmick thing. But I also think that they got some cool stuff on the horizon. With the Punk and Drew thing, whenever that finally happens, Drew presumably getting his title shot at Clash at the Castle. So they got some good stuff coming up that I'm pretty pumped for. So overall, I'm still pretty high.
Yeah, I gotta be honest, fellas. I feel this is a safe space. This is the most interested I've been in WWE in probably, I would say, 7 or 8 years. If I'm being completely straight, now I don't watch it all, which is part of why I'm interested. And that's important sometimes. For me, it's important. I just think there is a real power to having a sense that they're going somewhere with the wrestlers you like. As I age, I grow to appreciate that more. The idea that this wrestler I care about, I think they're factored in some sort of way. I think there's an idea of where they're going. I think we saw a segment tonight with AJ Styles that was a great kind of sign of that in some way, right? He lost 2 big matches, and what was the next thing? The follow-up on that was, holy shit, this dude's lost 2 big matches, man. What happens now? That helps me as a fan a lot, actually. And so I've really got into it, and the King of the Ring has helped me because I still like the action, and that's given me that. Oracle, you mentioned it to lead here. The King of the Ring has kind of given the show kind of a base of work rate, right? And actual just bell-to-bell action. It's been big for me personally, and I think the same for you, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was a little bit more down after Mania going into Backlash, and not bad, but I just it was just kind of whatever, which happens fairly often after Mania, and this is the King and Queen of the Ring has honestly reinvigorated the product for me, and it's given WWE a platform for work rate, which is not something that you typically see there. You see more of that on TNT and TBS weekly than you do lately in WWE. So I don't know, man. And it's across the board. Even something like all those matches Io had, right? All 3 of them were good.
She's killer, yeah.
She willed that, and we'll get into Lyra here, on this show, but Lyra's obviously, sadly, a charisma vacuum and needs to find somewhere. Yeah. And Io willed that match, with her charisma, and of course the Natty match was very good. The Shayna match was awesome. Just stuff like that. when, like, even in the last 2 years, and EO has been awesome this year and was very good last year, but when in the last 2 years with Triple H in charge were we gonna get an opportunity to see stuff like that? You know what I mean? Like, not that
Mhm.
very few and far between. Like, this kinda gives us, you know, as fans who appreciate that stuff, you know, the opportunity to see these people have matches that I don't it's just I don't know, it's just nice to see, like,
Have substance,
it
right? And
seems fresh again,
yeah,
where it's like, you know, they were doing this all the time in 2012, 13, 14, 15. It was awesome. But even towards the end of that period, it almost kind of got rote, right? Like, it was like they were throwing the same Ambrose and Reigns versus whoever tag match,
mhm.
you know, on SmackDown in 2015. And like, or, you know, you might see Cesaro versus Ambrose or Cesaro versus, you know, whoever a million times. And yeah, it might be good. But I don't know, like, when you've got that kind of like 3-week block of like this, you know, tournament time, it kind of highlights it and elevates it in ring, but also doesn't like,
For sure.
I
We're
don't know,
gonna get
flood it with too much work rate, which sometimes AEW suffers from on the other channel.
in the month of May, we're gonna get 4 Randy Orton matches that are like real. I do quotes because tonight he had, you know, he took it easy tonight, as he should. That's fine.
Yeah, I mean,
But,
Tama Tonga had the longest headlock on.
right, but like 4
Yeah.
Randy Orton matches that crossed 10, 12 minutes. Right, the AJ one that actually had some real time. It felt like that in itself, because they don't do it a lot, that does have value. Now, obviously, the key will be that you don't now use this as your crutch and do this. You know, now you have to then figure out the balance, and that's important because the reason this month has been so fun is we don't get it all the time. So you have to figure it out. I still think there's room for this kind of action on the weekly shows more frequently than we got previously, but I think, you know, balancing act of the more personality stuff, more entertainment stuff is very, very important. Jack, where are you at right now in your? Because I know we text a lot about kind of big picture stuff, but I don't know how much you actually watch week to week. Where are you at currently with WWE?
I actually watch more of it than you'd think.
Yeah,
because it's really weird. Like every Monday and Friday, my daughter goes. She's with my mom, and when I go, I work. I go to pick her up, and when I come home at 8, I'm not joking when I say this. I swear on her life. We get in. I get her ready for bed, which is about like 7:30, 7:45, depending when we get home. And she goes, again, swear on her life. She goes, Dad, watch Cody. So when she says, Dad, I watch Cody, that means I have to turn on Raw because it's Monday and Friday, Raw or SmackDown. So I do watch more than you'd think. Because when we're laying there in bed, we're watching, and then like so depending on sometimes I'll get lucky and Cody's on first, and it's like, oh, okay, and then but then if Cody's not on first, she's like, where's Cody? Dad, I work
sometimes
Cody.
they make you wait. Yeah.
Dad, I work Cody. So I like the WWE product right now. I do.
Yeah.
The more I watch of it. I like the way they did the King of the Ring. I finally love that they like a title shot at SummerSlam is just perfect. Like, how had they not done, like, if you can go from January to fucking April with the Rumble winners getting the title shot at Mania, how could you not go May, even when it was in June, like May, June, SummerSlam which is in early August now, so it's about the same time.
Yeah.
So, but it also leads me to think, should they move Money in the Bank or should like the Money in the Bank matches be put on a different show and not be a show to itself altogether?
I mean, I would much prefer that personally. Yeah. I've always thought that was a better idea. I'm not. Yeah, I think that'd be a good idea.
Can you space this out now? Because like Money in the Bank, I'm not soured on the concept. I'm soured on some of the execution.
Yeah.
I think I'm both, but that's fair.
So if
it makes sense.
I was thinking just the other day. So if you have January to April, Rumble, Mania, and now you have May to early August, King of the Ring, Queen of the Ring to SummerSlam. What can we do with Money in the Bank to kind of make that more relevant, interesting? Because like right now, Money in the Bank is what, July?
Yeah, this year it feels
That doesn't
totally
make sense.
slotted. Yeah, it's in between. Yeah,
like where do we move that to?
It would be September, right? It would be the next cycle. It would be
that makes it make more sense.
Yeah, based on your outline that you just did there, the natural place would be September, and then that to the end of the year would be its own little block of TV time.
As I've discussed before, Triple H very much books Big Four to Big Four pay-per-view. This is kind of another,
which you can feel now.
Yeah, this is kind of another example of, with Mania, it makes sense to kind of have that 5-6 week lull, and then you go into SummerSlam. So, it's obviously a 4-month build there, but he's very much a Big Four to Big Four.
Yeah.
Booker.
I mean, you can see SummerSlam, and we saw tonight on SmackDown. If we're getting ahead of ourselves, you had that moment with Cody and Randy, right? Which was kind of a bat signal situation. I think, regardless of who's King of the Ring, I think that's where we're headed, and I think you're seeing it kind of come together. The bloodline thing is obviously going to be an angle that leads them, I think, throughout the year pretty much.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of different moving pieces. It feels to me very cohesive right now in terms of like the new regime, quote unquote, like their vision for what they want this to be, I think is more apparent now than it's been. I also would like to credit Oracle. What was you gonna say, mate? Sorry.
I was actually gonna say I actually agree with Hot Rock Hudson there in the chat. I think they should put the ladder match back at Mania.
Yeah.
They're just not going to do that though, because they see it now. Money in the Bank is it's a big 5 now. It's not a big 4.
Well. No, Chris. Here's my counterpoint to that.
He's taking his hat off.
Vince saw it like that, but what is also something we saw recently? They thought that show could sell out a stadium based on its brand name. But it didn't.
They were less hot.
And they had to move it.
That was a very different WWE, to be fair. Remember, that was
but that was still Nick Khan who was in charge.
For sure, but I mean, they were a lot less hot.
Still look at it and go, is it really that important in the grand scheme of things?
I didn't even watch that show, Joe. Like to that point, like I didn't even watch that show.
But also to that point, though, Joe, we just talked about how Triple H now in this regime values the Big Four. If the Big Four grow, you can sacrifice Money in the Bank as a separate show on its own.
You don't need to convince me. I've wanted to get rid of that thing for ages.
I think here's the thing. At first, I was okay with it.
Let's get rid of it
because it was like a second Royal Rumble. But then, like the execution was just dog shit.
I just think it's such a and the thing I think they struggle with is like when guys win it, they don't build them up because they just think they've got the briefcase. And I think that's always a problem when guys actually cash in because if you haven't built them up, it shows once they cash in. I don't know.
Well, I think it should be a mid card on the rise winning at Mania like it used to be. If they want to keep the Money in the Bank gimmick, put it at Mania.
There's something I want to circle because we've criticized this for years.
Move King Queen of the Ring to June.
Maybe you move it. Maybe you do it at SummerSlam. SummerSlam. You do
2 night SummerSlam. There you go.
Okay. I don't hate that idea either.
I want to credit something that they've struggled with for years. This has actually stood out to me as well.
Yes. I'm sorry. I just said something to pop. What if you found a way, like maybe it's September, October. What if the thing is about the Money in the Bank concept? But what if you what if you took away the whole year rule? And what if to carry it over into the next year, you put Money in the Bank in like September, October, and that guaranteed the title match at the Royal Rumble. Because how many times have we seen them either struggle booking a title match at the Royal Rumble and just throwing random shit in there because it's like, well, okay, but the Rumble match is carried also. Here's this guy and this guy. So what if you just did that and then that carried into the Rumble?
Yeah.
Where you have even more intrigue. Where it's
they
like,
they like the cash in though, Jackie.
Yeah, that kind of.
You need cash in.
But that still
they would just call it something. They would just do it. They would just have it be a
they
number one contendership.
Yeah, it's a matter of opportunity, Jack, and cashing in. You see.
Yeah, they got to have a photo of somebody pulling the briefcase up and tapping it.
Yeah, you gotta.
And you can put it in a highlight package.
Look at Jack over there with his big ideas. You got to cash it in, Jack. Cash it in. Climb the ladder. Get the briefcase. Cash it in. That's the idea. But I'm going to make this point I was going to make a couple of hours ago. So, these NXT call-ups, dude. How much smoother is this cycle been of those for NXT call-ups for a while were like an inside joke. It's like we're going to call them out and then in about 6 months we'll have an idea of what we should do with them. They've got Carmelo Hayes. I'm not like a huge Carmelo Hayes fan. He has got like a clear role on SmackDown and they have an obvious idea of what he should be on the show. Bron Breakker, I think you saw on Monday, they have an idea.
That ruled, didn't it?
Yeah, they do it perfectly with them too.
It's like Lyra has got a big push out the gate. Look at Tiffany Stratton on SmackDown. Like, it is much more cohesive, and I actually think they've stumbled upon a system that works very well in that. In Sean's NXT, it's like a crash test, isn't it? It's like he'll do everything with you. Like you'll be babyface heel, you'll do 8 backstage vignettes a week, live promos, matches that are too long and too short. All at once. He does everything.
Gimmick match imaginable.
Gimmick match, yep. Mm-hmm. And then you get to the main roster and it's like, okay, now here is your actual presentation that we're going to use you with. Whereas before it used to be, you'd get your presentation that you're used with, and then you got the main roster and Vince wanted to do whatever he wanted to do with you. It's like, it actually works. Like
the opposite, yeah.
Yeah.
You get like, you get cross-trained and everything, I guess would be a
like everyone turns
all
heel
the bullshit of WWE bullshit. And then you can be kind of plugged to where they want you to plug you when you get to the main roster, and you know how to do it because
exactly
of all the bullshit you went through for
like Bron Breakker did some stuff that like I never would have had him do on TV, but he did it and it hasn't hurt him from his main roster. So it's just like, I don't know. I think it's quietly something to like track when you look at kind of how they do this, because that was something they really struggled with for years. I always remember those call-ups. Do you guys remember when the McMahons cut the promo about like you're in charge now, guys?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they did those call-ups where it was like EC3, Heavy Machinery, Nicola Cross, and it was just like, and they had no creative. They just came up. Like, they're here now. Welcome. It was the trend, dude. It's just, I think it's a much smoother system. And I think you look at Carmelo Hayes, because Bron Breakker's kind of can't miss, but Mello, ironically, is someone that I think they would have fucked up royally not that long ago. So,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Good for him, dude. I'm glad it's going well. All right. Let's look at Cal here coming through. Hefty super chat, and he says indeed late to the Grin. Very nice. Somehow convinced Tiffany was supposed to make it to the finals before she lost all sense of reason. There's been a lot of rumors of this. I don't know anything about it.
I don't know. I'm very confused by all this. Someone please explain to me if it's.
So,
Tiffany posted a very dumb Instagram story. I'm going to leave it at that because it did not surprise me based on what Tiffany's social media looked like before she signed for the World Wrestling Federation. I'll leave it there.
Was it politically charged or something like that?
So
more socially insensitive, frankly.
I mean,
I have to research this.
Call it for what it is. It was just a shot of her. Dumb. It was forearming Bianca, right?
Yeah.
Bianca or Jade. To some rap lyrics where when she hit the elbow, it was black bitch.
Yes.
And
fascinating.
Well,
it wasn't surprised.
that's
to
one
me,
way
unfortunately.
to call it. Yeah.
I think there'll be some. I don't know.
That deleted it, but somehow, like, normally there's at least like 3 or 4, like only one person got it. Like it was the whole thing was just really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we sure? I don't know if I'm convinced that she was supposed to be, because I don't know. I always thought she was going to win Money in the Bank anyways, and that.
Yeah,
Well,
given
sure.
the title shot thing, like I don't think she would, because like you're not going to have her in the finals if she's not going to win, and I don't know if they're quite ready to give her that big title shot at SummerSlam already.
Yeah.
So I think Money in the Bank makes
sure.
much more sense.
I think what both you guys are saying is logical, but I'm also not convinced that Lyra and Nia was their first final. If that makes sense. Both those things are. I don't know. I just don't know if I fully buy that this was their. Ultimately, the point of the matter is, thank you for the super chat. Firstly, Cal, it was a very dumb post, very very dumb post, and you assume it's been dealt with internally. I haven't heard anything, but I would assume that's the point. I don't know if things change. We haven't heard anything like that, and to be honest, I think you would have heard like an actual report. To be totally honest, I know because I think I spoke to. I don't want to actually put that there because I don't know what's on the air and what's not. I do a lot of shows. There have been different stories told. None of them have been formal reports. We will just assume it's gone as planned, and Tiffany Stratton should ponder more extensively what she posts on Instagram. Right, Bob? You've been saying that for years.
That's right.
All right. Cal, that one worked on many levels. Cal, another super chat. He said, "Oh yeah, what about the ratings though? We're not really a gang, this Cal. You know that. You know what you're doing." That was a real catastrophe last week, Oracle, wasn't it? The way that things unraveled here at LNG.
What happened last week?
I found it very entertaining.
A lot of people did.
It was funny.
Everyone had a great time, other than me. And that's fine because it's funny. But basically, we were talking about Matt. I think it was Matt who's the instigator, as you said. He said AEW's cold, and it went fucking nuts. Like everyone just got real mad about it. And then I started punching. I started shadow boxing and stuff.
I was like seeing triple by the end of the show. I was like falling asleep.
Wait, so Matt said something that was correct?
He said, but he was doing it. He was very cunning in the way that he did it, and he would play both sides. You know how he does that, Jack.
Yeah,
very cunning fella. And I was suddenly positioned in a corner of sorts, and I had to fight my way out of it.
I haven't heard Joe get that upset since that episode he went off on the chat about the Adam Cole stuff, like 2021.
Yeah, that was a night.
The Adam Cole thing was weird because Matt and Joe got in an actual argument, real life argument live on the air.
It was awkward.
Adam Cole.
Yeah. That's a very healthy thing to do, getting real arguments. Sorry, wrestling podcast. Yeah, it's probably hour 3 of that week's allotted 4. All right.
God, remember how long we used to go back then?
What a bunch of idiots.
Shit, man.
What a bunch of just complete buffoons. Like I said it last week. There is a show it's like Late Night Grin 12 or whatever the fuck. And it's like hour 3 and I'm like, let's talk about the AEW video game. What a fucking idiot.
We should just talk about random shit. And the funniest thing is, like, me, and Matt, like, we will talk about wrestling all fucking day, and then get on the stream and be like, all right, so let's do 4 hours. We just talk now face to face. Like, I'm talking from like 8 in the morning when I wake up. We're sitting there we're texting about wrestling. They were like, all right, so let's do another 4 hours.
Wouldn't have it any other way, brother. All right, let's get into yes, Antonio the chat is indeed the Double or Nothing prediction. It's a really fun show. I kid, but it's very fun. All right, let's get into it. We had a match added tonight. Well, we had a match to the pre-show. I was going to say buy-in. The pre-show, we have Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill defending the WWE Women's Tag Team titles against the all-star tandem of Candice LeRae and Indi Hartwell. I don't know, Bobby. Who do you think's taking this one?
I'm going to go with Bianca and Jade here. bit of a hot take, but I mean, it'll be a good match. You know, these pre-show matches, I like when they do them. I've gotten so used to them not doing them that I forget to watch them usually, but it's nice, you know, that they do them occasionally now. Because, you know, when you watch a pay-per-view and you watch it whole pre-show, like, it's not good. Like, I did it for a little bit of Mania, and it's just like, just
They
talking
suck, the
for an hour or
pre-shows,
whatever. And it really hurts when you're in the building and they don't do a pre-show, because then you can't hear, you know, a pre-show match, because you can't even hear the actual pre-show, so you're just sitting there. So it's good to get the people in the building, you know, ready and engaged, and it should be a good match.
What I like about doing shows with Bobby is, like, he'll say stuff and you'll just kind of take it as, you'll like accept it as true. He goes, "This will be a good match." And you go, "Yeah." And then you kind of go, "Well, hold on, will it? I don't know. I'm not sure it will be a good match. I don't know, actually. I don't know. Oracle, is this going to be a good match?"
No. But, I mean, if it goes like, I mean, really, it should go like 4 or 5 minutes and be a squash, you know?
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll probably do a moment where Candice and Indi, you know, try to do the heel tactic thing or whatever. I mean, it's not
You're going to work the leg, right?
Foiled. They'll be foiled.
Yeah. She's got the bad leg, Bianca, so they'll use that, I'm sure.
Yeah. Candice is in theory still a good worker, I think, but
she
hasn't really shown it in quite.
Women's wrestler on the planet.
Fuck.
Can we please? I am so fucking. I have been infuriated for 4 years.
Grow up, Jack. You're a father now. Get a new calendar, man. It's 2024.
She is still the best. They have to look at WWE's track record with her. It pisses me off.
I'm not saying it's good, but it's just to calm down. The best wrestler in the world. You have to be measured with these things.
She can still be that.
You have to be
truly believe that.
I don't know, Jack, but I love your optimism. That's why you're a friend of mine. All right. Look, I'm still the machine gun Carl Anderson guy, so I'm not going to give you too much shit. I just need you to be a little bit more. You can't just come out there and throw a hammer like that at me at this hour. All right. Chris, do you think this match will be good?
I think it'll be fine.
Yeah.
You know, it'll be there. I don't think it'll be anything offensive, but it won't be anything great either. So
I think I'm going to just always refer to Candice LeRae now as the best professional wrestler in the world, Candice LeRae. Jack, you need to watch this match now. You know that, right? You need to lock in on this now. This is a big moment, bro. It's an all-star game.
Yeah, I know.
That was fucking awesome. All right. Jack, you got anything to add on this one?
Now I'm just doing a bit. I can't. That's why I had to go on. No, it is sad though, like how they've handled, like for the 2 times she's been under contract, how they've handled her. But I would like to see her do more than this, because I feel like this is going to be a squash.
Yeah,
is what it's going to be. So.
Candice, I honestly think Candice is just best suited to being in NXT. I really, truly believe
probably so. Yeah, in all seriousness, probably.
Yeah, some folks don't translate, right? Because I have my fun, Jack, but seriously, I think she's very valuable in that role. Like, as like a player coach in NXT, tremendous. I just don't know if the crowd has any, no matter what they do with her, I don't think they care much. It is what it is.
That's okay, Wraith. You got in time. You know, we spent the first 45 minutes not talking about the show. So, you
don't worry about it, mate. We was talking about which is the best stadium in London and the WWE calendar.
Of course.
Yeah, we did. Bob unplugged his mic. It was a whole. We hope you're enjoying it though, folks. We're about to get into the main show here at the 45-minute mark. So if you have enjoyed it, the thumbs up, subscribe, all those wonderful things you can do around here, and even super chat these days. All right, the Intercontinental title match. 2 of my favorite wrestlers in the promotion, and then another guy. We have.
Oh come on, that's not nice to Sami Zayn now.
Chad Gable and Bronson Reed both vying for the IC strap here, triple threat match. Gable, of course, turned heel. What we at now? 6 weeks ago, maybe in Montreal. famous ordeal after that classic entrance. Bronson Reed is involved also. The big hook on Monday was Otis. He's going to be coming out to try and get the job done alongside Gable. It feels like he's going to be involved in the finish. Many moving pieces here. Jack, what do you make of this? Bronson Reed, Chad Gable, Sami Zayn. Are you fired up?
Oh, big Bronson Reed. This guy.
He's big. Big guy.
Big. He's big. It's in the name. Big.
It is.
Big Bronson Reed. The guy who comes out with that entrance and never wins. Ever. I think Sami retains.
Yeah. Sami retains probably over Bronson, right? You assume? Based on the fact he never wins?
Yeah, because I think they want to. I think there's more to dive into with Gable. I think Gable eventually takes it from Sami.
Yeah.
But more in a one-on-one setting. Even if he cheats, I think it'll be Gable eventually. But Sami retains tomorrow.
This totally feels like a program extender where it's like we'll do a triple threat so that like neither of the champion or challenger has to conclude their business. It's just you'll insert someone else to take that fall. That's the way it feels to me, Chris. What do you make of this triple threat match here?
So Sami probably retains, but I could also see them do the thing where Sami hits like 2 or 3 haluva kicks on Bronson Reed, and then Gable comes in,
throws him out.
Dumps Sami out and takes the pin.
Yeah,
and wins it that way.
I could see that.
I wouldn't rule that out, but I would. If you ask me to choose, Sami probably wins.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is. I think the Otis factor has to play a part here, right? It kind of has to after Monday. It should be noted how quickly they've been able to kind of microwave that angle because, like, the people are fucking rocking for Otis. They're ready for him to stand up for himself. I mean, it's really working. And they've only been doing it for a few weeks here. So that will be interesting. I'm sure that will get a big response even when he stands up for himself. Oracle, what do you make of this three-way dance, brother?
I mean, the match doesn't really intrigue me. Bronson Reed just takes everything down for me. He's just terrible. But
he's big, though.
Yeah, well.
He's big and he beat Okada.
He did.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, this is just basically a stopgap before we get to Sami and Gable in another big singles match.
That was insane, dude.
But I think Sami retains and Bronson takes the win. I think Otis. I don't know if he turns babyface here or whatever, or well, I mean he's babyface, but I don't know if he breaks away from Gable here or not. But like, maybe he does, maybe he doesn't.
Yeah.
I can't decide, but I feel like something will happen where he makes a mistake that causes Gable, and then I still think Bronson takes the pin, though.
This has been a thing they've like basically told us is happening without telling us it's happening, right? The Creeds, Gable Association, they've been on Monday. They were like in the same segment. They did that, so that's clearly a thing to look for. I kind of feel like Otis, as you mentioned, costs him, and then on Monday we get the angle where Gable makes his new team. I think.
Yeah.
The thing with the Creed brothers and Gable, I think, is going to be beneficial is that the Creeds are like obviously their ceiling is probably legit the highest among a lot of talents in WWE.
Oh yeah.
But right now, as baby faces, they're kind of just bleh.
Mm-hmm.
So if you make them heels and kind of be like, all right, show some character here. Like we're going to put you with Chad, kind of show something. That's where they're going to break through to the next level. So,
yeah. And the big thing with them, and this is saying that it's concerned me slightly for a while with the Creeds, is their biggest challenge is going to be maintaining that raw energy and physicality that they have now, that kind of Steiner's vibe. But they are going to need to get tighter because the reality is, as much as it's fun to watch on highlight reels, I highly doubt that a Finn Balor wants to spend his weekends getting the shit kicked out of him by Brutus and Julius. So it's like you have to tighten things up and become more conventional and
never-
fundamentally
And
good.
like a lot of
Fundamentally
veterans have
good.
said to that point in like shoot interviews I've watched and stuff, when you're heels, you can slow down.
Yes, it should help.
and learn and like you could tone it back a little bit.
Yes, it should
as they're
help.
trying to figure that out, which I think is perfect for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really important, bro. I know you spoke about like they are wild, dude. Like WWE TV has
like,
had guys
that
like
tag
them.
title match. So I'll never forget the look on Priest's face. Didn't they like kick out up to 3 or something?
He does, yeah.
Yeah,
He was so mad. Priest was furious. You could see in his face. He was like, "I ain't working with these dudes."
and that's the charm, right?
Yeah.
But it's like you have to it has to be policed a little bit because otherwise, a lot of those guys on the WWE roster are veterans, man. Like they've been around for a long time, you know. Many of them have been wrestling longer than the Creeds have been alive. So it is what it is. Bobby, I know you're a big Creeds fan, but first, what do you make of this triple threat we have here?
Yeah, I think I'm with you guys. Sammy's going to get the pin over Bronson, and they'll keep the Sami and Gable stuff going. I do agree with Chris, though, too. Like, if there is going to be a title change on the show, this is the match that makes the most sense. But,
Really?
yeah, I think just Sami over Bronson, keep Sami and Gable going.
I think there's another title change here, personally, but I'm not as locked in as you are, Bob. I know you have spreadsheets and such. What do we make of heel Chad Gable thus far? What do we reckon, boys? What do we think?
I think it's been very good.
Yeah.
Chris is bullish. Positive. Oracle, you had a glance towards the sky there for a moment.
Yeah, I think he's. Yeah, me in thought. I think he's always been better as a heel. I don't buy him as. I think he's good as babyface in the ring, but like
But as
I
a
don't buy him
personality,
I think his
yeah.
babyface character is awful.
Yeah.
Like I buy him way more as a heel. Like when they first had the Alpha Academy, he was doing the shoosh gimmick, and then now with his heel turn, where he's just like this total like almost like dorky jock. He's like a dick to like his.
He's little,
underlings. Yeah.
I'm watching it and I'm just like, not that he needed to be caught up in that mess, but like, and I get they were trying to subvert people's expectations with the whole thing, but like, how is he not Kurt's son instead of Jason Jordan?
Yeah.
Like,
that's one of the all-time. Like they were totally,
like,
they were totally ripping.
The way he's been acting is like this is like 2000 Kurt Angle. This is
Mm-hmm.
And on Monday he got those "You Suck" chants, right? Which they're going to try and get people to do weekly. I think that's something they're going to try and strive
they'll
for.
manufacture that.
Yeah, that's they've given him to him now, bro. But that will be he'll have sunglasses next week with "You Suck." He can wrestle Jey Uso and they won't take a bump. So yeah, I mean, I think he's doing pretty good. Like, he is very much a WWE superstar in capital letters, right? Like he plays a character, but this character does feel much more natural for him in the sense that his personality as a babyface, to your point, Oracle, can kind of come across corny. As a heel, the corniness makes him more of a heel, right? It's like, oh, he's fucking asshole. Like, he's being positive while he tries to cheat at every turn. So yeah, I think it's good. And also, I think Alpha Academy, that whole squad is like, they're wonderfully sympathetic in every which, like, poor Maxine looks terrified of him. And Tozawa's real sad. And Otis has got, honestly, one of the greatest faces in the history of humanity. So it's good. It's good stuff. What do we like? On,
I'm so happy for Tozawa, man.
He's got a thing to do. Yeah,
cool. he because he is so talented. He really is.
Yeah,
he is a talented dude, and it's no wonder that they keep him around like an active role in TV because he is so good.
Dude, it's crazy that he's had like an 8-year run.
He is so fucking good, man.
Mate, I remember vividly, this is a deep cut. When they signed him, I remember Dave, bless his heart, God bless you, Dave Meltzer. He was so excited for this big run. He's talking about the match quality of Raw is going to get so much better when the big man comes in. Because do you remember when the Cruiserweight division went to Raw, Tozawa, it was like a couple months later, Tozawa would come in. He was like wrapping up. And so I remember vividly, my brother and I reference all the time, but like Dave's on Observer Radio was like, Raw will get better when they get Tozawa. He came in and had like 1 10-minute match over the next 4 years. You know, Dave just sitting there shaking his head. Bless his heart.
What was that tag team he was in with? Was it Titus Worldwide?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, that was
he was in Titus Worldwide. He wasn't in the tag team though.
Who was the
right?
tag team? Apollo and
Titus, right?
And Titus. That's right. Yeah, he was the third guy, and then Dana was the manager, right?
Because Titus was definitely like his promoter or whatever when he won. Remember when he beat Pac or Neville? Sorry,
yeah.
Neville. They had a hell of a match,
really
dude.
good.
Yeah, hell of a match.
And then he was a ninja.
He was.
Yeah.
He certainly was. That was very inspired, creative, wasn't it, from the great stylings of that era?
Well, look at that.
Didn't he marry Tamina in that during that 24/7 title nonsense
Yes,
too?
he did. Yeah, there was a whole thing with like Reggie and Dana Brooke and Tamina.
Oh yeah.
I don't know any of this, which I'm happy to say. We have a new super chat, and I think this is worth
Scripts.
Yeah.
Reggie.
Scripts. Yeah, shout out to him. Matt C. Shoot, super chat here. Bob, stop tweeting during the show. Bob, are you not locked in, bro? This fucking conversation we're having here about Tozawa, is this not entertaining enough for you? We'll just do
I am
the
locked
show.
in. I'm multitasking.
What are you tweeting about right now?
I don't even.
It's probably sports or some shit.
I
I don't know.
It's been-
Where he gets a bunch of fucking engagements
Yeah.
somehow.
He
It's
tweets
bad.
on the US flag and he gets 1,000 likes. Fucking
Well, I'm looking at Twitter right now. Can I just? I don't want to sidetrack too much, but can I just
Go
point
for it.
something
Fuck
out
it.
that is really funny to me?
Go for it.
I just saw a tweet pop up from WWE on Fox.
Yeah.
Allow Andrade to reintroduce himself.
Yeah.
What?
He's coming to SmackDown. babe.
Well, here's the thing. It's so funny to me that I see that, and yet I see like the AEW tweets on Roosh that are
Coming
like,
back.
allow Roosh. What the fuck is it? Like, is this a bit?
I think so.
Like,
yeah.
did they get together? These two companies are like, listen, here's what we're gonna do.
Jack, the funniest one they did, I've said it on every show since then, but I haven't spoke to you about this. So basically, everyone who's new to SmackDown, if they haven't got something for them, they're doing these vignettes, and Andrade's one of them. And the best one they did was Shinsuke. They did an introducing Shinsuke Nakamura. He's been there for 8 years. There's
It's
no
the same
way
thing. It's the same thing he's been doing for 8-9 months.
he hasn't changed.
What the fuck? Like I say, allow Andrade to reintroduce himself.
Yeah, and
It's like when AEW does the Roosh thing, it's like, oh, Roosh. I'm like, yes, we fucking know who Roosh is.
Yeah, it's actually, I think tonight in their vignette, they even use footage from his original NXT vignettes. I'm pretty sure the one where he's watching the Lucha tape. I think that's from back in. I think so. Hopefully he gets figured in here soon. I want to see him wrestle AJ Styles on SmackDown where the big boys play.
Instead, he'll get in an 8-month feud with Legado del Fantasma.
Yeah, I don't want to watch any of those matches.
No,
dude.
I just.
I can't do it. I can't do it, bro.
I wish I could. I wish I could remember who I saw it from for proper credit. But that whole segment tonight, someone suggested, is this leading to AJ Styles versus Nick Aldis at SummerSlam?
The whole invitational.
Well, here's the thing. Like for Aldis's first WWE match, that is smart.
Do you realize that was
is-
AJ's last TNA match, right?
That is really smart.
That's going to be the best 3.25 match I've ever seen.
For real. That's gonna be so sexy, bro. Just working a limb. I actually think he's gonna get. I think there may be a trade in order. Not sure. Or as Tape Machine said, AJ's gonna go and work Noah. The guest of the World Wrestling Federation, AJ Styles, going to head over. We would do some watch-alongs for that shit.
Oh God, yeah.
All right, everyone's picking Sami Zayn, right? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
For anyone keeping score at home, folks, we just crossed the hour mark here. All right. Unfortunately, this one has been bad from what I've seen. We got the women's title match here. the World Women's title match, I believe. Pretty sure.
Yes.
Becky Lynch
Yeah.
and Liv Morgan. Yeah. I watched this promo segment that these two wonderful young ladies produced on Monday, and I honestly think it's one of the more excruciating things that I've come across in my time as a professional wrestling fan. Dude, I don't know like what is up with this, but it feels like this is like the worst version of Becky we've seen in like many years. And poor Liv, like I know like she's trying with this heel shit. This is quite bad, dude.
Yeah.
It's bad, I feel.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know.
I can't watch the segments, dude. I fast forward through them. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Their program in late 21, early 22, I liked, well enough. I don't love it, but it was decent enough. Their match
Yes.
day one was okay. Even really the match was even good. Really. It was kind of
that was pretty good.
But like this is just it's so weird because they got the whole thing, they're pushing Lyra and like I don't know. It feels like Becky's gonna win, but there's this weird feeling that I have Liv might win.
I think Liv's winning.
Oh yeah, Liv's
I
winning.
think so too. I think
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna pick Liv.
You only live once, bro.
Yeah. I think
mean,
Liv is winning. Yeah.
I think Liv is struggling to figure out what heel Liv Morgan looks like. I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. Chris, what do you make of this Becky Lynch, Liv Morgan business?
Yeah, I think Liv wins. I mean, unless life's been pretty crazy the last couple weeks. Unless there was an update I missed, like Becky still hasn't re-signed that we know of, and her deal's supposed to be up any day now. So
Yeah.
I think for that reason alone, I think Liv wins.
And unless it's some sort of performance art, Becky is certainly performing in a fashion of someone who'd rather be at home.
I thought Becky was winning until I was reminded of the contract thing earlier on Twitter during the week, and then the stuff that they did, the book, thinking over the feud, like when Liv punched Lyra on Raw or whatever backstage, I thought, well, hold on, I thought, regardless of who wins Lyra and I, which we'll talk about, I think Lyra's getting a title shot this summer.
Yeah,
I think this match, and
Yeah, I
I
agree.
think it's Liv.
Yeah. I don't know, Bob. You're famous for tweeting some quite extreme things about Liv Morgan. Do you like any of this stuff?
No, it's bad. No, it's just there's a lot of good stuff on Raw, and this is not part of it. I don't know what the deal is. It's like you said, like it feels like it should be working. They're both better than this. It seems like, but yeah, it's not connecting, and I don't know if Becky is looking forward to taking some time off and coming back whenever, or what the deal is. But yeah, there's a weird disconnect.
There is. Liv feels like she is trying to play a different.
There's a lot of good stuff on Raw, but this is not part of it. It's just fucking broken.
There's no reason to say that, was there? Because there was no reason to bring up that there was good stuff on Raw there, just to explain this wasn't good. You did a roundabout way of saying it's bad. Rather than calling this bad, you explain Raw has good stuff. This is not among it.
Well, he wanted to really put the emphasis on
That was like
on burial,
There was like there was like a cry. That was like a Bob tweet in real life.
Dude, do you remember when the night when he had that tweet? We always used to quote it when he said his tweet was something like, "The Impact Plus app doesn't work, but you get what you get, I suppose."
Yes.
And it was like, what do you mean? It doesn't work. What do you get?
And I'm sure he got 47 likes on it.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah. He said, you get what you get. What does that mean? Do you remember that day, Jack, when we texted about it? He said, it doesn't work, but you get what you get, I suppose. I said, what the fuck? What do you mean you don't get anything? It don't work.
There's a lot of good stuff on Raw, but this is... Bob, how are you not laughing?
You don't sell. He's just...
That's your own fucking joke.
All right.
No, this is bad.
It's bad.
Yeah.
Okay. Jack, do you want to talk about Liv and Becky, or do you not give a shit? It's up to you, mate.
I had so many thoughts. They're fucking gone. Hold on. Bob, are you a real person?
Fair question. Oh, we have fun around here, folks.
All
We
right.
hope you're having fun. Too.
Okay.
Jack, you ready?
Apparently, the
Go on,
All right,
fan's
all right.
a living thing.
Hold on.
We've determined that over the years.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Fan. The ceiling fan.
Holy shit. Bob, I'm glad you're my friend.
Thanks, Jack.
All right, so what do we think Becky Lynch is actually doing here?
She's gonna go home and be with her kid for a little bit, and then she'll resign. And then
That's
next
what I
couple
think,
weeks.
Yeah,
I think she wants there to be mystery until she comes back after this absence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Liv Morgan has been frustrating for me for about 4 or 5 years
Yeah.
because it seems like there is a real legit superstar there.
There's something there, yeah.
But there's just something missing, and I'm not gonna sit here and try to be an expert and figure out what it is. Something is missing.
I thought there was really something there as a baby face, because she is very likable.
Yeah.
You know, and I think the way she connected with kids, I think there was something.
She has a charm,
yeah, for sure. And
But-
she does seem like there's definitely something, but I don't know, this heel run.
But on the
is
same
weird.
token, though, it's like she has that baby face charm that it's like something's missing. But even the heel bitch charm, it's like she could do that too, but something's like there's something.
She feels to me as a heel like she's like playing. It feels like she's doing like an impression of an Alexa or a Carmella or a
like
that's what it feels.
I'll never forget when she was a baby face and she would have these big matches and she would go in the corner. My wife would always point this out. She would go in the corner and she would start breathing like this.
Beast.
And my wife would go, "Why does she look like she's gonna cry?" And I'm like, "Yeah, she's trying, she tries too hard. I think it's like someone has to tell her, relax, just relax."
I think that is definitely a thing with her as a heel. She's trying really hard as a heel, and it's yeah,
dial it back a little bit,
dial it in. Yeah,
you dial it in, and you'll be fine. Because I get where the company sees her as this is she's a marketable moneymaker.
Yeah, she's over, dude. Did you see that thing about her shirt?
No,
she had the top shirt among the women's roster,
really?
I think of the month.
Good,
yeah,
good.
The one that's the Liv Revenge Tour one, I think.
Then you should have everyone of importance in that company should be with her and going, all right, how do we do this?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I know Paul Lee saw her as a big project back in the olden days.
Yeah.
But obviously Paul Lee's, he has strange faults
He's
when it comes to these things. Yeah, he certainly is. Especially with someone like Liv Morgan. It was, I think, a sort of ill-advised combination. But yeah, I don't know. I think there's clearly she's connected with people and there's something there. I think this feud has been far from flattering for both parties, to be honest with you. And that happens sometimes. Yeah. It is what it is. Hopefully they have a good match. I'm sure they will have a good match.
Last thing, I get it. If that is the outcome tomorrow, I get that they want Liv's title win to be over Becky. It's just it didn't work out. The build didn't work out the way they wanted it.
Exactly, yeah. And again, hopefully they stick the landing with a good match. I do think Liv's winning.
I have more confidence in the match itself than the build was just bad. But the match itself, I have a little bit more confidence.
Becky usually delivers.
And Oracle, to your point, if that match is great tomorrow, good to great, then the build, who gives a shit?
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. You live to
Yep.
fight another day, right? You start over
I
on the
mean,
Monday.
This is an extreme example, but like WrestleMania 17 did not have the greatest build in the world.
No,
Mhm.
no, it was horrible.
Mhm.
Yeah, there you go. Bob, anything else on Liv Morgan tweets, or are you good to move on?
No, we're good.
All right. The undisputed WWE title of the Earth. Code Rhodes versus Logan Paul. Now, this was the one that they teased being title for title, but I think it was always pretty apparent Logan was going to get his way out of that, and he did. Thankfully so. I don't think anyone needed double champ Cody. That would have been a mistake. So, as expected, they got out with a contract signing. And this has been, I think they've had good promo segments every week. I do think it's been challenging in that they have literally just done 3 long promo segments with each other. But, it works. Look, I can't pretend that this is something that I really care about because I don't. But, I think it's effective. I think it's smart. Also, quietly, this is a bit of a King of the Ring tradition. Remember back in the old King of the Rings, they would have the IC champ work the World Wrestling Federation champion. Remember this was like a thing they did for a couple of years there? A little bit of that flavor here, right, in 2024. So, I think this is a very logical match. I think it will be a hell of a match. It isn't really for me, but that's okay. Bob, what do you make of Cody Rhodes and Logan Paul?
Yeah, it's taken a back seat to the build for King of the Ring, but I think Cody's promo tonight in particular was very good. Get in the ring, it'll be fine. Like, people want to cheer Cody. We saw that tonight. They're going to want to boo Logan. They'll have a, perfectly serviceable match and, move on. And I think for the pay-per-views where, maybe the championship's not the biggest thing, like, obviously King and Queen in the Ring are the bigger things here. Like, that's fine. Like, we saw it with the Rumble with Roman, too. Like, the builds are what they are, and, you hope the match is good, and I think this one will be good.
Roman match over-delivered huge with Logan, right? I'm intrigued. And this one has a high ceiling. Chris, where do you think this one lands, Cody and Logan?
I think the match will be really good. I haven't been like we talked about it last time. Like, this is a match we all assumed they'd get to, but I just didn't. Now it was not on my not on my board as when they would do it. And I don't know, there's just been something. Cody's promo tonight was good, but I don't know, there's just been something missing.
It was kind of undercooked.
Yeah. And I think part of it is me being in the beverage bubble. I'm a little surprised, especially with Prime being on the ring mats and all over the programming anyway. Like, they haven't even mentioned that Cody's a Prime athlete in this whole thing. Like, that seems to me like they brought out Mahomes.
It feels like that should be what the feud's about, right?
Yeah. So I was a little taken aback by that. But yeah, the match itself, I think, is going to be fantastic.
Yeah. I think it'll be interesting, like, how they lay this out, because some of Logan's matches have been, like, really ambitious, right? And I actually think they've been his best ones. The ones that are kind of almost like extended fight scenes, almost, with these big booming set pieces. When he just kind of wrestles professional wrestling matches, it's kind of like, I remember the Ray match being a good example of that. Like, they just had a match, and it was like, no fun for anyone. I want to see him fall off a ladder or something. So, we'll see which kind of direction they take with that. Jack, what do you make of this Cody and Logan matchup?
I love it, especially for like, this is the perfect Saudi title match. And I think Cody being the all right, I'll say it, ring general that he is.
Gunther?
Cody will make this special. Like, you'll get your viral spots
For sure, yeah.
But I'm a big me and Contrarian Alex.
Oh yeah,
big Logan Paul guys. Like, he's Logan Paul. People don't want to hear this. He's going to be a world champion in that company someday.
Probably.
He's going to hold either that title that Cody has, or he's going to be. And I don't hate it. I love Logan Paul in WWE. I'm sorry. Sorry if that offends.
No, I'm happy for you. You're my friend.
I love it.
I agree with you, Jack.
Yeah, there you go.
I
Jack.
love
Chris
him.
Crazy.
Yeah. He's so good, man.
All right, come on, take it easy. It's fine. Let you have your fun now. Come on. Take the mic. This is the late night Grin, Jack. You know,
Fucking puts all these guys to shame. Like
well,
all these indie guys who think they're top
oh
shit.
no,
Like, Logan Paul walked in and was like, "Here, this is how easy it is."
yeah. All right, there you go, folks. There's the Crosby stance on the Mao. Folks, I just checked our like count here, and I really feel like you need to hit the thumbs up, right, Oracle? That's what you're always saying. Hit the thumbs up. That's one of Oracle's catchphrases around here. Hit the thumbs up. We're having a hell of a time. We haven't said anything about wrestling that's worthwhile, but we're fucking laughing. We're having fun.
Did I bring it down? Am I bringing it down?
Dude, it's gone up so much, dude. I think this show has been really, I mean, again, it's useless from a wrestling point of view, but it really is compelling viewing, I think. I think you're doing a great job, Jack. I'm loving it. All right. Oh, yeah.
Do I still get my check?
No, but you're doing a great job. Really.
He's been withholding all of our money.
Yeah, I hadn't paid anyone in months. It's
Yeah, Joe comes out here, he's like, "Here's super chats," and I'm like, "All right, where?"
Well, no, let me correct that. Only one person's getting money here, and it's fucking Bobby because he's taking a damn contract.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, 100% cut.
It's been issues.
I'm going to take the dog out, so on to the next.
Okay, mate. Thank you. Oracle, Logan Paul, and Cody Rhodes.
This match will be really good, I think. I don't really care about this program, but like I think the match will be good.
Yeah.
I think this will probably be I'm confident in Gunny and Randall. That I'm using my silly nicknames for him here, but in terms of crowd reaction, this I think is going to be the highest point of the show for that, other than the men's King of the Ring final. But so yeah, I think this is honestly, I think this could be a great match, to be honest. Hopefully they do some stunt stuff, which I think is Logan's strength. It interests me because like Cody likes to like, oh, you want to do that, you know? Mm-hmm. Okay, I got one better for you. I can see Cody like trying to do some stupid shit that like
probably,
you know, he might be able to hit, he might not. So, you know, be prepared for that. Cody wins clean, retains. I think he wins clean. There's a chance they might protect Logan here, actually.
I agree. Yeah.
But there's a chance Logan gets protected. I don't know how they do it yet. They teased the LA Knight Logan Paul thing, right? I think that's our prediction for that is still kind of set in stone. So
yeah, but that seemed like it's a little ways away because now it looks like they're doing some sort of
LA Knight thing.
Carmelo.
Yeah,
that's
there's going to be. They've made too big a deal about the knuckles. Like there's still going to be some sort of shenanigans with the knuckles in this match. I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know if that referee they had out there tonight is going to be the referee in the match, and for some reason he'll still have the brass knuckles on him, or something weird is going to happen with these brass knuckles.
Yes. And I agree with Cal.
Absolutely going to be
we're going to produce a big near fall of that. Yeah, I know definitely be a factor. I could even see them doing the finish where Cody, even as the babyface, I think you can do this with a heel like Logan. Logan tries to use the knucks and it falls in Cody's hands, and he says, he kind of does one of those deals, boom, knocks, and that could be Logan. He could whine about that for years, right? Like, I got robbed in the WWE title match. So, I think there's kind of different ways to do it. I think the finish will actually probably have some shenanigans for that reason. Give Logan something that he can pretend he didn't lose, right? And it helps that character. Hopefully they like the US title thing is kind of rough because like he's actually been the champ for like 6 months now, and he's not around like defending the belt a lot. So it's just this SmackDown. Luckily, their roster doesn't really. A lot of their guys are old fucks, anyways. Don't need it, but
I think LA's got him at SummerSlam. So
this one, How over is he, by the way? Jesus, wept, dude.
Yeah.
There are people that will tell you he's like fallen off. He's so over, man. It's insane. I told Bob I was right about that. All right, anyway. It's time for the Queen of the Ring. A final that I honestly, this wouldn't have been in my top 3 guesses, I don't think, at the start of the tournament. I don't think I'd come across this. Lyra Valkyria, Nia Jax, Nia tonight on SmackDown got a clean win over Bianca Belair. Of course, the knee injury effect, but she beat her, right? And the bonsai, and it was like, that was a moment. That was a whoa. It was a good match, too.
Yeah, it was. It was good.
And that's been a theme with Nia. She's really impressed with this run. She's done a good job. I think people are dramatic about, like, I actually think Nia was very capable in, like, 2017, 2018 of having these matches. The issue that people forget that because of how bad Nia got before she left, because she got really bad before she stopped giving a shit. She's had a hell of a run here, and I think this match is hard to pick. I actually do. Like Lyra and Nia, this is a tough one to pick. Jackie, you've let the dog out. You're back in the building. Queen of the Ring, Lyra Valkyria, Nia Jax. Who you got, brother?
This is for sure Lyra, because it seems like they're really, really pushing her. Yeah. But like you guys were saying, a lot of credit to Nia.
For sure.
Because she has been impressive. And I've seen a lot of her lately. So like this run to the finals is very deserved. Mm-hmm. But Lyra wins, but God. I just need to see some more personality from her. You know?
She's pretty bland, yeah.
There just needs, like, they have to find that second gear with her. And that's where I get so scared, because a title match at SummerSlam.
It's a big spot.
Which, again, like, you know, SummerSlam's a big show that's going to be stacked. Not 2 nights, but it's going to be stacked. You could position it at a point if you're not confident, but I say Lyra.
Yeah. On the Nia point about kind of this run that she's had, it's a good example of why, as a wrestling booker, sometimes you have to trust your instinct, right? Because the reality was, when they had brought her back, whoever booked Nia, it was going to be like a bit of a punchline. Like, oh my God, they're going to really try and do this Nia thing. But they obviously had a belief they could get something out of them. And they have. I think they've got more out of her than they could ever could have. Actually main evented the fucking show in February or whatever it was in Australia. So it's really overachieved. I actually think Nia's winning this thing. Personally. That's where I'm at. Chris, you seem to agree, Chris. Talk to us. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think they're going to divide between the shows, these 2 winners. And if we all think, I mean, I think the men's one could really go either way, but I give the edge to Gunther in that one. And so that would mean that Nia would win the Queen of the Ring over on SmackDown. And I just think it looks like they're going to have Bayley do this, test of the giants here for the next couple months. It looks like maybe her versus Piper at Clash at the Castle. And then, you can then start setting up the Nia feud for SummerSlam.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Cal mentions in the chat, I think both winners are very feasible in this final, which is as it should be, right? And that's a positive. I just think in trying to get Lyra over, I don't think she needs to win here necessarily. I don't see her getting a SummerSlam title match this soon, and I think this is one of those kind of pats on the back for Nia because she's been on the money thus far. I think that's what this is. Bob, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm going with Nia as well. I don't know that I necessarily was before tonight, but it feels like, Nia and Bayley at SummerSlam makes a lot of sense. I thought they might do Bayley and Bianca, but with how the Nia and Bianca match ended, it wouldn't really make sense to go to Bayley and Bianca before Nia gets a shot. Because, like, you think of how few people have pinned Bianca clean over the past couple of years. Like, it means something. Like, they're going to capitalize on that. And, yeah, I mean, I agree with Chris. Like, it seems like Piper's coming up, and then probably Nia for Bayley.
And, like, you look, they're obviously pushing Lyra. Jack's right. It's just, I don't see the need to rush with her skill set, Like, I think she's someone that will grow on people because her work is really good, but I don't look at the package currently there and think, my God, they really need to get this thing moving in the right. Like, there's no rush to me personally. So that's the other reason I'm leaning Nia. Oracle. I'm surprised I thought it was going to be just me. What do you stand?
I've gone back and forth on this. After watching all the TV this week, I actually do think Nia is going to win this.
Wow.
I still think Lyra's going to get a title shot. I don't know, but they kind of like to trade the matches. I think it's going to be Bayley and Piper, and I think they might do Liv and Lyra in Toronto at Money in the Bank.
Could see that.
And then Rhea, I think, will be ready by SummerSlam.
Maybe so. Hopefully
Roughly. If not, she'll be back by Bash Berlin or whatever. So I think that's when her timetable is supposed to be back, is around that time period. Because
I believe so.
The shoulder injury was bad, but not like catastrophic or anything. It was bad enough to be a couple months. I think Liv Rhea is the ultimate big match. I think they're probably trying to hit SummerSlam, but it depends on Rhea's comeback.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
And then I think Becky's going to take some time off, resign. I think Lyra's going to have a sustained push. She's one of these, going on Lyra, she's very good technically in the ring. And she was, that EO match started out kind of like, it was fine, but okay. It was like, eh. They really went, they got like 20 minutes and they really got it really turned out to be a really good match. And EO, I think, certainly guided that match, but Lyra has a really good skill set in the ring. She's very skilled in the ring. She has a decent look. Her entrance is already getting some reactions, but just like Jack said, just like I said earlier, it's just the personality just needs. I feel so. This sounds mean, but I don't intend to. But it's just the truth. When they give her promo, she's so uncomfortable cutting promos. She just doesn't.
Yeah, she's very awkward.
She's very fake and inauthentic, and I don't know.
There's some work to do with the presentation, and that's why I don't see the rush. I don't think she's ready to go in that regard, and I think that's a huge part of the package. To me, she's just not ready to be talking on TV at the rate to be like a main event. Now, let me be clear: they had Nia cut 2 bad promos tonight because one wasn't enough.
Yeah.
But Nia, obviously, as an overall package, because of her size and what she brings to the division, she's a lot more easily to slot in.
Right.
With Lyra,
I was strongly in the Lyra camp for a while, and then I read the spoilers of SmackDown and then watched the show, and I thought Nia's going to win this. I was kind of still leaning Lyra until I read the spoilers and watched SmackDown, and I was like, I think Nia's going to win.
The match has not got a ton of juice as an attraction.
No.
I think it could be quite good because, frankly, Nia's had good matches consistently, and Lyra, as we just said a bunch, is tremendous inside the ropes. So the match should be good. I'm amazed that Jack ended up being the one guy. Jack, you're an expert in this regard. Have you got betting odds you could access for this? Because I'd be intrigued if you're.
Yeah. 1 second.
Go because I honestly thought I was going to be the only person big in Nia.
Yeah. All right.
We'll see here, folks.
Right
this is not a sponsorship, folks. I'm intrigued.
No, actually, the last ones I got.
Oh, damn.
Are only for the title matches.
Well, what are those while we're there, Jackie? Go on, mate. Go for it.
All right.
When in Rome.
All right. Cody's minus 2,500.
Yeah.
Now, Becky and Liv.
That's interesting. Yeah.
You can win some money.
Oh.
Becky is minus 175, a favorite. Liv is plus 135.
There you go, Jackie.
The Intercontinental Championship, Sami to retain minus 250.
Wow.
Chad Gable plus 175. Bronson Reed is 12-1. I might throw $20 on Bronson Reed tomorrow.
Please do. So you haven't got any odds because it's the new match. You haven't got any odds on the best in the world.
Yeah,
right?
They don't. They only send odds on set matches.
Yeah, all right. That's fair.
Bronson Reed at 12-1.
The thing about him is, Jay, he's big fella.
He's big. It's in his name. Big.
Yeah.
He's big.
Big bloke, and he wears sunglasses too.
But he's big.
Plus the sunglasses is kind of crazy, right? It's like a
Yeah.
deadly combination.
Was that the scene?
And he's
I
big.
was gonna say, Bob, didn't you used to do the Bronson Reed face?
The face. Does he still do the face?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't
No.
think so.
He has like the Godzilla thing now, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't he do that now? Yeah, he's I don't think he's gonna win, but I think Jack should put money on it. All right.
Well, hold on.
Jack's gonna do a live Bronson Reed bet here on the late night Grin.
Well, I mean, I know this is a WWE show, but I do have the double or nothing odds.
Well, you know what? Let's go for it. We got half an
Let's
hour.
do it, yeah.
Let's do it. It's just
Yeah.
go on, mate.
All right. I'll start from the bottom.
Okay.
Trent Beretta minus 225. Orange Cassidy plus 160.
Yeah, that's probably right.
Mm.
That's probably
Anarchy in the Arena. The Elite minus 450. Team AEW plus 275.
That's
right.
that's
They must have got
that's a little distant there.
they must have got Dax's medical back.
All right. The Trios Championship. The Bang Bang Gang minus 500.
Oh baby. Oh. Oh.
Death Triangle plus 300.
Bookie said Penta's fucking washed. He ain't winning shit.
The FTW Championship.
Oh Jesus.
Chris Jericho minus 425.
Oh,
Hook plus 275. Shibata plus 1200.
Jackie, the
I
Bronson
put
Reed,
money on Shibata.
the Bronson Reed Katsuyori Shibata double.
I put money on Shibata.
Hammer it, let's go.
The TBS Championship. Mercedes Moné minus 400.
that's high.
Willow
Wow.
Nightingale plus 250.
Probably fair.
Oh
It's
yeah,
first-
that's probably fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The International Championship.
Oh fuck. It's gonna be
Will
ugly.
This is not worth it. Will Ospreay minus 1,000. Broderick Strong plus 550.
Oh,
Well, they never seen a backbreaker before, bro.
The IWGP World Heavyweight Championship Eliminator match. This I don't understand. John Moxley minus 250.
Yeah.
Takeshita plus 170. If it's an eliminator match,
The reason is a lot of us think the only reason it's eliminator is not so Takeshi can win. It's just because politically they couldn't.
yeah,
That's the reason. Yeah, but that's just a weird ordeal. It's a weird thing. Yeah, I don't know.
barbed wire steel cage match. Adam Copeland plus 325. Malachi Black plus or minus 325.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Malachi Black plus 215.
that's pretty tight, man.
Yeah.
Some money on Malachi in Vegas.
Yeah, like Malachi, that's the value play.
There you go. Spooky Tom.
AEW Women's Championship. Timeless Tony Storm minus 700.
Yeah,
Serena Deeb plus 400.
can't argue with that.
no.
And the AEW World Championship. Swerve Strickland minus 1,500. Kristen Cage plus 600.
Wow.
Jesus whips. He's a multi-time world champion they're talking about there. All right, folks, there you go. That is not sponsored by the Late Night Grin, so please gamble responsibly. All right.
Yeah, see, now this is where if I was a booker and I saw
Oh,
this shit, I would have Christian fucking win on
You'd
Sunday.
be in jail.
I'd have Christian fucking win and tell Swerve, you're gonna get the title back.
You'd
That's
tell
what-
Swerve, we'll split the winnings.
Like if I was Tony Khan, I'd be like, give me $5 million on Christian.
I think they'd be on to you. I gotta be honest. I'm not an expert, but I think you'd be in some trouble.
I'd be horrible at this.
Jack would get their job as head booker, and like 1 week later, Jack would be in jail. All right, let's get to our last match, folks. Gunther and Randy Orton, King of the Ring.
All right, this one.
Yes, mate.
Joe, Oracle, Chris, I respectfully ask you guys to move to the side.
Oh,
Bob.
shit.
Yep.
When you messaged me back at 10 p.m.,
Mm-hmm.
did you know I was the 5th person on this podcast?
I did not. I didn't know
All
that
right.
until I got here. I haven't really been on here today.
All right. Guys,
Oh, no.
respectfully,
That's right. Enjoy
move to the
yourself.
side. I messaged Bob at 6:15 p.m. Here's a somewhat hot take.
Oh,
Randy
God.
should not win this tournament. I wouldn't fuck with babyface Randy yet. Bob said, I don't know. I think it can stay babyface/babyface for a Randy Cody match because he would have won it via the tournament.
Mm-hmm. Fair.
All right, Bob. Let's get to it, buddy.
Okay.
You gonna fight?
You really think the Randy Cody babyface thing can work?
Yeah. Because I don't think anyone wants to boo Randy right now. And I don't think anyone wants to boo Cody right now. I know they have history and all that, animosity.
But that's my point.
Based on what we're
Nobody
looking at right
wants
now.
More so, nobody wants to boo Randy.
Bob said, yeah.
They don't want to boo Randy. And here's okay. Here's the thing. We used to think of Cody and Gunther as a WrestleMania match, right?
Mm.
That's obviously not gonna happen. Because fuck, next year I think we're getting Cody Rock.
Yeah,
Fine.
I would agree.
So I think you get the Cody Gunther match out of the way at SummerSlam. Now, Randy has been really, really vigilant on this whole bloodline thing. Like, he fucking hates the bloodline. I think they're going to cost him tomorrow.
Oh my God.
And I think Randy is going to end up playing into the Roman's return in some form.
Right.
Okay.
I don't think Randy's winning tomorrow. I really don't think he is. I think they're going to fuck him tomorrow.
Bob.
No, it's fair. I think they made it though.
That's
so
fair.
it's for your own brand's championships. I don't think Gunther can jump, so it would be him against.
What if he's traded for AJ Styles?
Well, sure, but
And the machine gun Carl Anderson maybe too as a throw in
true.
to give him some shooting off the
Good
bench.
point. I just think, Jack, if he has to stay on Raw, there's too many other directions that the Raw title
Okay.
going in right now.
But what if Gunther wins, challenges Priest, okay?
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't even face Cody. What if SummerSlam, Cody and Randy team up against the Bloodline, and that is where we get Roman's return?
Yeah, I mean,
Bob.
maybe.
Bob basically just says that's fucking stupid. Yeah, good idea.
No, I mean, I can see it, but
Can we
I think
talk
Randy's
about
going to win. They're going to do Randy against
a
Cody.
moment ago? This genuinely happened. Jack said they are going to fuck Randy Orton, and Bob said that seems fair. God bless you, Jack. Jack thought he thought he was going to have like a first take style duel with Bobby O'Neill, and Bob just goes, yeah. You set it up, you frame the segment a certain way, ready to go. Jack was ready to do some real hot audio with Bobby, and Bobby just went, "Oh, it's a good idea, Jack. I don't know what your problem is, bro." Oh fuck!
But that's why this is great.
Yeah,
That's
This is-
really why this is.
that's the thing.
This is very
Like-
compelling.
Yeah.
Very compelling. I think Randy's winning. By the way, I think Randy's winning and going to face Cody Rhodes. Because I think Bob actually was entirely correct in his assessment. That's how they're going to do it as a babyface match. To be honest with you. Sorry to say, Jack. I think Bob's onto something here.
The only thing that's pulling me away from it is that, like, Gunther Cody, to me, used to be a WrestleMania match, but now, like, with Dwayne and all this bullshit, it got thrown into a. So, I wouldn't blame them for being like, well, why not now? But
I think Gunther is going to have a little bit of a longer road to the gold, but I think he eventually will beat the famed Cult of Personality Chicago fella for the belt on Raw. I think.
yeah,
I actually think Punk's going to win the belt from Drew, who's going to win the belt from Priest, and I think Gunther is going to like beat the shit out of Punk. To be honest, I think that'll be like an obliteration. That's my feeling. I think Randy and Cody is the SummerSlam match. The other day, Dave predicted Randy was going to win, and everyone kicked the shit out of him. And now it's like, hold up, Dave might be right. I think that's what they're doing here. Now, I get why people are against it or not feeling it, because it kind of feels like King of the Ring's made for Gunther, right? Like, that's like the perfect thing.
Yeah.
How good was that promo he cut on Monday about Jay when he was in the empty building? Oh my God, that was terrific. So, yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how this looks, but I'm picking Randy. Chris, where do you stand on the King of the Ring final?
Yeah. Well, up until they made the announcement about SummerSlam, this is not the final I wanted. I actually was one of the few that wanted the Jay Tama final. Yeah, because my obviously this is going to be the better match. My thought before they announced the title shot thing was, to me, King of the Ring always works best when it's the setup or part of a bigger story. Like Brett winning in 93 was setting up the Lawler feud, right, and Owen winning in 94 was part of the Brett feud. So I thought the Jay and Tama match would be part of the bigger bloodline story. But then Gunther won, okay, fine, and then they announced the title shot thing. So now I'm fine. I'm going to lean Gunther because I don't think Drew's winning that Clash. I think Punk costs him, and that's the last
straw.
That's the last straw.
So then, where do you think do you then think it's Priest and Gunther? What do you think the belt goes then? That's interesting.
I think Gunther wins.
Yeah.
I think Gunther wins the title at SummerSlam from Priest.
You know what you could do? If you got the IC strap off Sami, imagine he was the guy who transitioned it from Priest to Gunther. And then Gunther would be winning the big belt by beating the guy who beat him for the IC belt. Yeah, you could do so because Money in the Bank's in Canada, right? Different things here. Bash at Berlin is a circle for Gunther. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. All right. So Gunther is your pick, Chris, right? That's where you're leaning. But it's close. Yeah. It's very close.
It's very close.
Okay, so we got 2 picks each right now. Oracle, settle the difference. Ain't gonna matter in 12 hours. So.
This is one of those matches that, like, for Joe and I, is like,
oh yes, perverse.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
I mean, it's gonna roll.
Yeah,
it's gonna kick ass. Like, Gunther's gonna throw a chop, and Randy's gonna grit his teeth and be like, "Holy fucking shit, why?" And it's going to absolutely rule. And then Randy's gonna throw like one of his old uppercuts, and really try to throw it in there,
Try to teach him a lesson.
Yeah, he's gonna drop Gunther really fucking hard and rotate him like a Singh brother on that fucking announce table after those chops, brother.
And then he's gonna say, "Calm down, kid."
And then he's gonna hit an RKO and win. But Randy's,
there you go.
Randy's that was my attempt at an RKO out of nowhere.
I like it.
Yeah, he's gonna hit an RKO and win, and we're gonna get Randy and Cody at SummerSlam. I feel like that's
it's a big match, dude. Big match. Big match. But to Jackie's point, and this is why I get why Jack's hesitant. you do have to be careful with that one because
Yeah.
he's the old guy, and there is a chance that in front of a big time crowd, the people just say, "We want Randy to win." You know,
I know people fall in love with the traditional Randy Orton of like the dickhead heel, and I just think that he has really surpassed that, and he's at that point of a.
It's like legend status.
Like you can't boo him.
I agree.
And the thing is, like for us, and I know we might be in the minority, like that. I love that when I watch Randy Orton, he loves.
He's having fun.
What he is having so much fun.
I agree completely.
He is loving every single second. I can't boo that man. I don't give a shit what he does.
Yeah, I think, I really do think it's something you have to be very careful with. And I think you're right.
From my perspective, and I think I've said it on this show before, like if he tried for 10 years, Randy Orton is the greatest professional wrestler of all time, and it's not even close. If he tried or cared but that's what's scary about him is there's years he didn't even give a shit and went out and did the stuff he did.
It is fascinating. I'm always been a Randy fan, and I think this whole panel is pretty much pro Randall, I think, right?
Dude, I'll say this real quick to interrupt you real quick, Joe,
Sure.
but 2000, like for example, 2004, Randy Orton was legitimately one of the best wrestlers in the world.
He's had great years.
That was when Ring of Honor was killing it. That's when Japan was killing it. Randy Orton was legitimately like a top 10, top 20
Oracle. If you put that Randy Orton, and I'm someone who watched that shit religiously. If you put that Randy Orton into that atmosphere, he would do the same shit those guys did.
Well, he's great, dude. I think it's already happened, but you guys have all heard me say this because we've done a million shows ago. I've always said, like, I think history will be super kind to him, and I think it's already happening, right? Like, he had that 18 months off, and he's now, like, legend state. He's genuinely one of the most over guys in all of wrestling right now, like, easily so. So when we talk about how the crowd will react to him and Cody, I don't think any of us mean it as an indictment of Cody. It's just when you become the champion of the status quo, and there will be people that have grown up watching Randy Orton that sit in their seat at SummerSlam and say, "Fuck, I want to see RKO and see him get that belt one more time." Like it's natural. Yeah. I'll be thinking it. You know, it's like it's just natural. So
I'm so scared. Like I want that feud it does need to happen.
It does, yeah.
Like his protege, like not only got to that spot, but like face of the company, like the new Cena. Cena, who was always attached to Randy.
Exactly. He's the opposite. Yeah. Yeah.
And like
Cena was everything Randy wasn't as like a face of the company candidate. And now his protege has like taken that role, and Randy's still like, he's just still there. It's, I think it's going to be very compelling. It's going to be fascinating how they present it. I assume that what they'll do is a babyface match, and I think Randy will turn at the end of the babyface match. But I actually agree with Jack that like, I kind of think babyface Randy is what I would probably stick with, but we'll see. I think he wants to be a heel because it pops him, but we'll see.
I think if they wait to maybe if they can hold it off to like Rumble, because I think once Randy's been back like a year, I think
you got a better chance.
You got a better chance of people buying into him as a heel.
Yeah, I agree. The thing with Randy it's difficult is when he turns, a segment of the audience will like him even more because they want him to be that guy, right? So even that's hard. But I agree with you. The more you wait, the better you are.
It's always so crazy to me because like Randy Orton is a guy that years from now, like people say, like, you know, who's your what if wrestler? And I say Randy Orton, like someone might look at me and be like, well, what do you mean? But it's like, oh, if he just fucking cared and grew up a little earlier, like Jesus Christ, he would have been.
He's also interesting because he's like one of the first guys. There's a couple of them, obviously, like Cena, Brock. Brock did wrestle outside of WWE, but it was kind of uninspired to say the least. But he's also one of those guys who's like probably going to retire with every single match of his being like under that umbrella, which is like insane, right? If Randy Orton existed in a different era, if Randy Orton was in the 90s, I honestly think he'd have jumped back and forth like 4 times.
And but think of his match catalog when his career was over.
It's I thought about
Hulk Hogan, Mick Foley, Triple H, and
Yeah, man.
all of the guys he's fucking wrestled. Like, Jesus.
And he has Oracle. You could speak his better than anyone. Like he has so many good TV matches that no one remembers.
Oh,
Yeah.
tons.
Tremendous. Yeah.
Tons. He's
Yep.
got a false count anywhere match with Kane that's like great.
Yeah, which is incredible. Saying
Have
those
you
words
seen
out
that?
loud. No.
Have you seen? No,
No.
it's good.
I may have to watch it because it pops me. The idea of it pops me.
Randy having to stand there and get a crown put on his head and a robe could be very, very comedic too.
Everything he does is funny now, dude. Like he like makes a point of interacting with one fan on his way down, and it always is funny somehow. Like last week, that fan left him hanging, and he just was like, huh.
And he went to the next man.
He went to the next fan. He's funny. It brought me. I was watching with Papa Holbert, and he goes, "This guy's got a lot of personality." Pop me, you imagine that being the rap on Randall back in the day? He's so monotone for so long, but Jack said he's having. You can see he's enjoying himself.
He's having fun.
Yeah.
Like he's just like he really is the guy who was told. Like I believe he was told by those doctors, "You should end this," and he was like, "No." Like, can we fix this? It's like, all right, I'm gonna enjoy this.
Yeah, I agree completely. This is a classic match, by the way. Randy and Bryan.
Oh
versus
yeah, the
Orton.
one
Yeah.
on TLC 2013.
Yeah, that's one of the best. That's like an all-time great Raw match. All right, we have a couple of super chats, fellas. Then we get out of here. Bluey, we appreciate you. We hope you're well. We hope you've enjoyed the show. He says, super chat here says, who's Booker of 2024 so far? Leaning Triple H. Okay, before I go any further on this, I want to make clear that I am absolutely not qualified to answer this. I watch no wrestling, but of what I see, it feels like it's Triple H's to lose. Now, it's always complicated because Triple H, like, there's a lot of creative voices, especially this year with Dwayne being around. Like, let me tell you, folks, Triple H ain't walking up to Dwayne being like, "Here's your finish." You know, this ain't Watts. And he is the booker, and I think right now he has to be the favorite.
Here's the thing for me: the Cody Rhodes title win that puts it over the edge. Like,
yeah, that's hard.
If you could do that at WrestleMania, like that'll
live forever.
We're done.
So
yeah, we're
the
done.
favorite. Yeah, I think he's definitely the favorite. Yeah. It isn't a rich kind of list of contenders at this point, if we're being. I mean, even Paul D'Amour's been fucking sacked these days. It's terrible. There's no bookers. I don't know. Yeah. Anything else on Booker of the Year, fellas?
I mean, speaking strictly from the main two promotions, yeah, so far for me, it's no contest.
Yeah.
Yep, I agree. We appreciate the super chat. Hope you have enjoyed the show. Thank you very much, mate. All right, Cal, once again, showing us some love. He says, piggybacking off the last Super Grin, that's good. We should use that. Thank you, Cal. Women's Wrestler of the Year right now. Okay, so again, we don't watch a lot of wrestling. I am not clued in on like Joshi front to back. So
I couldn't answer that. But from the States and the big two, which I watch everything because I'm an idiot.
Yes.
I'd say EO, man.
Yeah, I think it's EO.
Because even though I'm always guided in my opinion in terms of Wrestler of the Year, always through in ring first, and EO's just had an incredible day in the ring. She's like the Bailey match was like amazing and probably underrated because like so much other stuff was going on those two shows.
That match is
excellent.
Yeah, that's a great WrestleMania.
And then he had three. I just mentioned at the beginning of the show, 3 matches. At the in the last 3 weeks that have been different and all really, really good.
Yeah. The name to circle on the AEW side of things is Willow, who I don't think has had a ton of chances to have like great matches yet. We'll see one on Sunday, hopefully.
Willow's another good call too.
And Willow's been one of the better stories of the year, and I think she's actually
What a promo she
becoming.
is, too.
Dude, that's exactly it. She's becoming the star that we thought she could be right in front of our eyes. You know, she's been great. So she's tremendous. Some love in the chat from Mariah May, who's been tremendous. Again, not someone who's had a chance to have like great matches. Every time Mariah's out there, it's worth watching, though, right? She brings it, physicality, super, super engaging. But yeah, I hear it's Suri, but I can't pretend to.
Yeah, I've been hearing she's been killing it back over there
since she got back in the game. She's been tremendous. Yeah, the shows there was a match with Hashimoto. You should watch Hashimoto. Oracle, she would pop you. She has a singlet, does big suplexes, and throws bombs.
Oh, that
She
rules.
fucking rules.
Is she of the famed family, or is that just like a?
I believe it's just a name crossover. I'm almost certain it is, but they had 2 matches after she left. So I didn't see the Marigold match. Bob, you watched Marigold, right? Yeah,
Sounds like a racing promotion or something like Grand Prix. Or...
Well, Rossi O'Gal was an interesting fella, and he's an interesting. We'll leave it.
Rossi.
I guess most perverts are. But...
Our guy Rossi, huh?
That was unnecessary because not only is it dangerous, it's also like an insane thing. You said most perverts are interesting guys. You said that just to pop yourself. That was entirely unnecessary. All right. Yeah, so it's brought in the chat. Bozilla. I don't know if I'm saying it right, Bozilla, but she's like the monster they've brought in. Because, of course, Japanese wrestling is still true professional wrestling, honest to God professional wrestling. So the main event of the first show of the promotion had like 3 of the best workers in the world, plus just a brand new monster heel, because that is real fucking graps, bro. But it's still doing it. So, God bless. All right. Let's move forward here. Let's get out of here. Let's do some plugs. Let's do some promotions, folks. This has been a wonderful time. Thanks again to Cal for the super chat. All the super chats tonight for them out. Thanks for all the support throughout the night. Thumbs up, subscribe, work and stuff. Let's do some plugs. Bobby, anything to plug before we get out of here?
Grin Grappler is back next Tuesday. Bobby Roode, 8 Eastern, I believe, maybe 9 Eastern, whatever time we usually start. There'll be plenty of links. Join us. It'll be a fun time.
Yeah, okay, I can't wait. I cannot wait. Oracle, anything else you'd like to say, mate?
I do not condone perverts. Let's be clear.
Nor do you think they're interesting necessarily. Case by case basis.
Right. But yeah, we do have Bobby Roode, Grin Grappler, which is hilarious and awesome. I'm very excited to rewatch that AMW tag that I have not watched in quite some time. Had the Final Resolution DVD growing up and used to watch that pay-per-view constantly.
God bless.
And what are the plans for next Friday, Joe? I don't know.
It is the rare blank slate.
Blank slate.
We may just show up and talk wrestling, which means the thumbnail is going to be one of those. You know, when we do the Survivor Series team, we just put Late Night Grin in one of those. We've done Friday. One of those, right? So, yeah. Oh my God, Jack, you around?
Next Friday is my 40th birthday.
It is. Yes, it is. I remember now. Yes.
40.
Are we doing a birthday bash?
I'm going to text you and let you know where I'm at.
Like, no, it's such a
like
game
life.
Game time decision.
Because apparently my wife is staging a party at the house here.
Oh my God. Don't worry, guys. I'm just stepping out to do the Late Night Grin.
So,
yeah. Remember, Jack, we haven't got paywall anymore, so be careful. All right? I'll protect you, son. Don't worry.
Yeah. That
right.
might be problematic.
The episode with the Adam Cole, there's 2 episodes. There's one where Oracle and I review him wrestling Orange Cassidy, which unravels, and I don't know what the other one is. We do like a Samoa Joe Adam Cole thing. It's bad audio, terrible. It's an episode of the flagship. I don't know what it is, unfortunately. Beach Break 2022 would be the review show, though. All right, Chris, tell us what's happening with Music and Moonsaults, brother. Take it away.
New episode of Chris and Matt's Wrestling Podcast dropped earlier this afternoon, where we talked. We actually didn't do previews for either pay-per-view. We just kind of did some general. We talked about AEW at 5 years and gave some of the best moments in the first 5 years of the promotion, and also discussed SummerSlam going to 2 nights in a couple years, and then this whatever other bullshit non-wrestling related that we came up with. So and then I got a new base cover coming out Monday, I believe. So
God bless. I love it. All right. Have you done an episode yet about whether or not AEW is hot or cold? Because I've been looking for that kind of audio. Have you got any?
No.
All right. I'll keep my eye out.
We're both rather down on the product, so we try to stay away from it to not be too negative. So
yeah, good idea. Anyway, you can check out one of my free Double or Nothing previews that I've done over the last week. I have a new match review with Tope Suicida. We reviewed Roderick Strong and Bobby Roode. We're going to drop that video either before or after Grin Grappler. So it's going to be an unofficial Bobby Roode week next week here at in the Late Night Grin universe, which of course, I mean, it's relevant, right? He's definitely something we're talking about right now. So that would be great. It's definitely not saying that we're just pretending. So that's what's coming up next Friday. Could be Jack's birthday bash. Could be a 2-hour show about Nick Bockwinkel again. Anything's possible. That could both happen, right? Jack's birthday bash could be a 2-hour show about Nick Bockwinkel. We don't know yet.
That sounds great.
It does. I agree. But, folks, we really appreciate the support, and we need you to enjoy the professional wrestling this weekend. There is 2 damn shows this weekend, and I think they're both going to be damn good. Legitimately, we have our fun here, but I think they're going to be some really good wrestling matches on these shows. So enjoy wherever it is you watch. We hope we have enhanced them in some way over these last 2 weeks. I don't know how much insight we provided across our 4 hours of preview. I would imagine very little, but we hope we made you laugh a couple of times. That is the goal here at the Late Night Grim. So with that in mind, remember, hit the like, subscribe, comment below. Comment. What should they comment, guys? It feels like Bob should be the main character tonight, right? Bob. Here's the perfect thing. Who was right in the great debate? Bob or Jack Crosby? That debate that Bob definitely wanted to be part of. Tonight, decide who was right. Or do your favorite Bob quote of the night. There are many candidates. Also, I just tweeted an Oracle quote, which was, I believe, I do not condone perverts, to be clear. Which is another good quote. You can do any of those quotes, or you can do so about wrestling if you really want. But comment below, it helps us out. Like the video, all that good stuff. Have a wonderful evening, a wonderful weekend. We truly appreciate the support. Keep grinning, all hail, and of course, enjoy this wonderful outro. Have a good one, folks. Speak soon.